You're listening to 91 Reasons, a journey into the twisted landscape of pop culture. Keep your hands and arms inside the podcast at all times. And now, The Voice, Jeff Tucker.
Hey, we're talking with Rachael here. Rachael actually went to the 30th reunion with me.
Yes, I did.
How was that?
Well,
because you don't know anybody there.
You're right. I knew that I would know Laura and Becky and Felipe. That was pretty much who I was going and knowing. But I'm a social butterfly, so that didn't stop me. If there's a party, I'm going to go whether I know anyone or not. So I was hopeful, and it turned out even better than I thought. I can't walk today. It's how many days later, and my knee has done something from that dance floor, and I'm walking very weirdly, but I'm in a lot of pain. But it was worth it.
It was worth it.
It was worth it.
How was it? What was it? Because I've talked about this. I did a whole thing at the reunion talking about the reunion. So
I know I need to listen to those. I was on the dance floor the whole time.
Yeah, I'm going to put them all together. That's what this is for.
Everybody was really welcoming and friendly, and it was just a lot of fun. Alex did above and beyond, making the place look fabulous.
Oh, no, we gave it up. It looked like a lot of work.
It did.
And she even laughed and said, there's a limit on helium balloons now. You can only buy 5.
Yeah.
Because there's a helium shortage.
Yeah. There was tons of balloons. It looked beautiful. It was a lot of fun. I met a lot of nice people. I connected with Kathy, but I knew I was going to like Kathy, Dion, oh my gosh, she's so much fun. I'm sure she's in much pain still as I am today. But we had
I ran into Les and Andy and Robert Neary and Terry Hathaway. None of my talk of the town guys were there. No Dave, no John, no Rich, no Randy.
I know. I would have liked to meet some of them.
Somebody even asked me if my friend Joe was going to be there.
Oh, I heard someone ask about it.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, I'm going to go away now.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to be here. He lives far away.
But isn't Terry part of that? I loved Terry. Terry was great.
No, Terry's not part.
Terry's a fun guy.
It was me, Terry, Steve, Robert Neary, and a couple other hangers-on. But no, the talk of the town was a different group of guys. Different group.
Everybody seemed to really like that you put your yearbooks out.
Yeah, no one had brought a yearbook. Alex had hers there, but it was on her table. But I brought all 5 and put them on the table and let people take pictures of them and look at them.
I was going to say, in the group, there's a lot of people posting their picture of their...
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe...
But, a lot of people, I guess, either didn't buy it or they've lost it over the years.
In stores and they haven't seen it for years.
Yeah.
They took a picture because it was out and easy.
And
That's what I figured.
Brought them. I thought that was fun.
Yeah. That was cool.
Yeah, it was an interesting... I used unusual, surreal, just strange to be around a room full of people that look familiar.
I had people think I went there. I had a number of people go up and...
We should have just...
No?
There's an episode of 30 Rock where Liz Lemon goes to her high school reunion with Alec Baldwin, and he pretends to be the most popular guy that went to their school.
Oh, that's funny.
And everybody loves him. And that's where Liz figures out that she wasn't bullied. She was the bully. It's a really funny episode.
Well, I told everyone, right year, wrong school. So then they'd ask, what school? And if you know my story, you're like,
Well, you mentioned
some of our
rivals.
The last school that I had gone to was Gar, so I figured that would be the one to stick with.
You know what we called Gar?
Huh?
Garbage.
Hey now.
Well, they were rivals.
I can't say nothing about Gar. I went there a
month.
month.
You were there 10 minutes.
And I wasn't even there the month I was there. I'd go put my books in the locker, and I'd go out the back door and go over to Cerritos Mall.
I saw a guy there that I recognized. There were a few people that I recognized that I didn't go up and talk to.
You didn't recognize anyone. Every single person, you were like, I don't know that person. I don't know that. Who's that?
I'm terrible with that.
You are.
Terrible with that. But, Marty was there from West Side Story. He showed us his scar from where he got stabbed. That was really amazing. And then the weird one was a guy came up to me and just was really friendly, and it was Vince Pluma.
Oh, I had to leave the room.
Yeah, because he's related to a friend of yours.
I started crying.
Yeah.
I mean, I got emotional. I went all the way
you were blubbering.
to the bar away from the event and had a few moments.
You were blubbering.
Then I went to the bathroom and cleaned up. Then I walked back and saw Laura and told her what had happened and started crying again. Yeah, I was a hot mess.
But he told me that he works at the high school.
Yeah,
he's been there 20 years as a coach and a teacher, and he let me know that Mr. Vedeka, if you've listened to my episode about 8th grade, Vedeka was the math teacher who yelled at me on the first day of school. He was the guy that'd go, 2 minutes, go, and you'd have to run around the track. He is still alive. He teaches 1 week out of the month, and that is stunning to me, because I would have thought he died like 92. But he's alive.
Wow.
The weirdest part of the night was playing the in memory portion of the show. All the people who passed away.
Oh, that was... I didn't go to your school, and that was sad.
Yeah. They mentioned Kim Washburn, who had actually committed suicide during the school run. So that's... I mean, everybody knew Kim and knew the story.
I saw her in gasp, but somebody had passed away like literally a week ago when they were in it.
Yeah, and Richard Ramirez passed away in November. I didn't know
Nobody
Richard...
seemed to know that one.
I
that
didn't
was a
know.
shocker to everyone.
Laura started crying. Yeah. And I was just shocked because...
Well, that's the one thing you don't want to be, is in the video memory of your high school reunion.
Yeah, and I resisted telling Richard's stories on the show, but Richard was a character, man. He was such a colorful character. He had this need to embellish all of his stories. So if you mentioned that you got a Star Wars figure, he would tell you he had one in a bank vault that was pristine and unopened. Like I
knew someone like that.
He had to top it.
Remember Tiffany?
Yes. And the biggest one with Richard was we all went to see the movie Dune. And when we got out, Richard said he had the director's cut on video, but it was in a bank vault.
Sure.
And we used to, every time Richard would get out of line, we'd just look at him and go, Black Market Dune. And he would just be destroyed. Because we knew he didn't have it.
From someone going to your reunion from the outside, it just seemed... it seemed like you had a good high school experience. From what I see, everyone talked to you. The thing that I loved, there was absolutely no cliques. All that was gone. I could not tell because I did not go to your school, so I don't know who the drama geeks were, the cheerleaders were, everybody was dancing and grinding on each other on the dance floor. It didn't matter who you were.
I talked about some of, not the cliques, but who the popular people were. I did that while I was there, so you'll actually hear that in the show of seeing the two most popular girls at school walking together was very surreal to me, I'm repeating what's just said later in the show, but they didn't talk to me, they didn't interact with me, so to me they were quasi celebrities.
Did you name them in the other portion of this, or you're not doing names?
Oh yeah, no, it was Shonda and Jamie.
Because I want to know.
Oh, no doubt. They were the two most popular, good-looking women in school, so it was weird to see them older, still doing well. It just was interesting. Very interesting. There was a couple of people who avoided me, which I thought was interesting. There was a girl I tried to talk to a couple of times, but she managed to go the other way every single time. And that was the girl who...
The pink shirt one you kept pointing out.
She's the one who...
She never gave me the time of day either.
She was in Charlie's Aunt. We were opposite each other. We practiced the kissing scene, and then the next day she was out of the show. She dropped it. And she said it was because of cheerleading. And I'm sure that was true, but for a young man to see... I just assumed it was because I was a horrible person. But she wouldn't talk to me. She looked the other way every time. I thought that was unusual.
I don't even know who you were.
Oh, yeah, no, I'm not taking any personal offense at it.
There was a lot of people at this reunion.
The thing I did at the reunion was... It's the same thing I do when I go to a convention. If you want to come up and talk to me, awesome. But I don't really go up and talk to people.
Okay, I was the complete opposite. I was the first one on the dance floor, and I went around to every single person.
You're a different kind of person than me.
It doesn't matter. We didn't go to school together. You don't know me. You probably don't even like my husband, but let's go dance. That's my attitude.
Yeah.
And I made a lot of friends. I had a good time.
We watched Liz win the dance contest. And
I should have did that
couple
dance
of
contest.
Didn't Dion win a
She won some
whiskey bottle or something?
some alcohol.
Shaped like a guitar?
Uh-huh.
It was a good time.
I didn't know alcohol was a prize, or, when I changed my view.
Yeah. I don't need any alcohol.
I also figured it was probably for the class people to enter the contest. Nobody wants to watch someone else dance.
Yeah, nobody wants to watch an outsider.
Yeah.
Get the hell out of here.
Hey,
You're not a Lancer.
But I had a good time.
Well, I'm glad. It was one of those things that you have trepidation at first, and then you're like, well, I bought the ticket, you might as well go. And then you go, and you have a good time.
Yeah, I'm hoping that she does a 35th. I'm waiting for it. This was fun.
So I get a 5-year break.
Yeah.
Okay, if I can take a 5-year break.
Because now I know everybody, so it'd be like my own reunion too.
It was also strange at the end, because, by the end, you've talked to everybody, you've made your connections, and at the end, you're right back with the people you hung out with high school. It was me, you, Kathy, Becky, Felipe.
Yeah.
It was all the drama guys back together, which I thought was fitting. It was very fitting, so.
I didn't want to leave. You were the one that was tired.
I've had a long week.
You said you wanted to leave, and then I snuck off and we went and danced a lot longer.
Yeah.
Before I found you again.
Yeah,
it was Becky's fault. She pulled me back to the dance floor, remember?
You'll hear that part. That's where I'm in the back of the room drinking tea and commenting that I feel like an alien.
Yes, because something came on that was a good song, and Becky and I were like, "Where's Jeff?" And then we saw you in the corner, and she started like waving for you, and you came out.
Yeah.
What was that song that we just had to have you on the dance floor for?
I don't know. I danced to
Prince,
Paul Revere, and Humpty. And then the guy played some horrible modern music that had horrible language that I was
the
like...
Beastie Boys you came out for.
Yeah, it's Paul Revere.
Oh, is that what that is? I don't know what Beastie Boys.
I did it like this. I did it like that.
Yeah, that one.
I did it with a...
Oh, they played White Lines.
I don't care about White Lines.
Clear the dance floor. This one's for me.
They played
Paul Abdul.
Lookout Weekend. You. Yeah.
That was Laura. Laura requested that.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it was a lot of fun.
All right, well... I'm glad we went. Thanks for going.
Me too.
I don't think you wanted to go.
I didn't?
I think you were like, ugh.
No, that's not fair. I don't think I did that. I don't turn down a night to get dressed up and nice food and dancing. I don't. You
bought a new dress.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, new from Savers.
Newish.
Somebody else, I'm sure, had a few other parties before me. But
no, I read that a tag. It was actually used in a funeral.
Okay. Tip that's funny now for anyone that saw me that night. I wore that dress backwards. I did. The little rhinestone that was in the middle of my boobs was actually supposed to go down the back of your dress. It's one of those revealing back dresses.
See, men don't understand this.
But I cut the tags off and flipped it around. And you can obviously tell if you look at the bottom of the dress because it's pleated and longer in the back. It's supposed to be like a wedding veil
People
type
don't
thing.
Notice that stuff.
So my dress was short in the back and long in the front, but it cascaded around my pumpkin shoes and looked so cute that I don't even think it mattered that my dress was backwards.
Pray for me, people.
And I have a better chest than a back, so I was like, honey, if we're it's going to be the boobs, not the back.
Oh my God.
So,
you're so weird.
I did look really good in that dress.
You're so weird.
That's a keeper. I think Elizabeth West said, that's a keeper, that dress.
That's a keeper.
Yeah, so that one's going back in the closet to pull out for another bit.
Somebody's calling. Enjoy the episode of my Norwalk High Lancer 30th anniversary 1989, class of 1989 reunion. Here we go. Well, if you hear that loud music, that booming loud music, I am at my high school reunion. It has been 30 years since the class of 89 walked the aisle. I have never been to a reunion before. I'm not sure what told me to come here, except what else is there to do? What is left? You know? And there's a bunch of people here I went to high school with that I haven't seen in forever. Literally, like, the minute they handed me my diploma and I walked out, that's it. And I didn't see them all until MySpace and then Facebook. So it's really weird to see. We're at a hotel in Long Beach and everybody has signed a giant card and there's names And, okay, all these people, there's a photo op, and I brought yearbooks, and all these people are here, and it's very surreal. It's very surreal to see people that you spent all that time with, and then you're here with them. Saharat, did you find your phone? I saw your name written on the card. I'm like, yeah, I talk to that guy all the time on Facebook. I have to see it visually. I hope you find it. Oh, so too. It's here somewhere. Guy lost his phone. So now we're just walking through this insane reunion. It's ridiculous here. Okay. I don't know if this audio is even coming through. It is so loud here. It is so loud. I'm here with Terry Hathaway, one of my dearest friends from high school. Terry was a ladies' man. Terry was popular. Terry was a football player with the football player haircut. And more than one time I said, Terry, what are you doing hanging out with people like me?
You guys are very good at it. You're all good people. You're a good guy.
And you got involved in drama.
Drama?
You were even you had the lead in West Side Story.
You know how that started, right?
No, I have no idea.
Maggie told me she gave me an A in Spanish if I went into her drama class.
Are you serious?
Got an A in Spanish for that.
That is fantastic. I knew there were some people who got A's for fixing our plumbing.
Yeah.
But I didn't know about the Spanish thing.
Yeah, I got an A in Spanish 1 and 2 for her.
Just for doing the play.
For doing West Side Story.
But you were good in it.
I was all right.
You were good.
A lot of tootling from you.
Well, yeah. Well, I don't know what I'm doing. West Side Story was the third play that I did. And because Stevie Real dropped out, I got his part. And that was the first time I had an actual scripted line on stage.
Well, that's kind of what happened with me. Rick Bromley.
Oh, because Rick was going to be Rick.
Rick was Rick. And then he didn't show up to practice a couple times, and Maggie made me his understudy.
And you're in.
I'm in.
Now, you were the guy that cut Marty.
No.
It wasn't you.
No, it was Schulte.
That's right, it was Schulte. That's right. Because by that time you're dead.
Yeah, I was dead at that point.
Okay.
He stabbed him, and I think Marty grabbed the blade, and then they pulled the blade out.
What was the drama teacher doing with real knives?
Same thing my parents asked.
Was she stupid?
When I asked my dad, hey, can I borrow one of the switchblades? He goes, hell no, what is wrong with you guys? And you remember we went to the snow, got snowed in?
Yes.
Same thing, we missed school for that.
I tell that story all the time.
That was hilarious.
It's good to talk to you, Terry.
Good to talk to you.
Thank you,
Love
man. All right, I am standing here with, how long have we known each other? Forever, right? When did your family start going to Christ United Methodist Church?
I think I might have been in the 4th or 5th grade.
Yeah, that's like 79, 80. Yeah, because we
were really young.
When my mother divorced her husband, my sister's father, you found your phone. See, a happy ending. We found the phone.
You gave me that good luck, Jeff.
That's awesome.
See that smile? I'll never forget that smile, Shonda. You always had that smile back in the day.
Oh, I have to just.
Sweet word. Yeah,
Why is
that
it?
smile.
It's not recording. Hold on.
Hey, left.
Oh, it's still recording. It's recording. Okay, so this is Shonda Bowser. She was one of the coolest people in high school. That's true. You were like very popular. You were good looking.
No.
Well, yeah, you were a cheerleader, right?
I was a cheerleader.
Yeah, well, that's like to a nerd like me. That's everything. A cheerleader, popular. I didn't run in those
We had
circles.
so much fun and drama.
Oh yeah,
Grease?
no. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I always credit Grease with turning me around.
That was the most
Grease
fun.
was fantastic.
The
Yeah.
most fun.
Yeah, you were just one of the kids in the school, right? Just like me. Well, you were in the Pink Ladies.
I was, but I was an extra. I was more working the set. I loved making the set. And I like the background stuff.
Well, again, when I tell people, because
Fun.
if you have kids now, because my daughter just got into drama, and they have these like the tech kids who do all the tech work, and the
So
sound
many
kids,
places.
and I said, no, we did the rehearsal, and then when it finished, we started building the sets. It was
Right.
all the same kids.
Everybody.
We all did the same thing.
But there's so many great places in here.
So many what?
So many great positions. And
Oh yeah, of
places in
course,
here.
yeah. No, drama
As my
was where I
daughter
found
grew up,
myself.
She was a dancer, so she found her place.
Okay, well, the
Dance.
performing arts.
Yes,
So
yes.
you've been in Vegas for all this time. You're like a Vegas pro. I love Las Vegas, which is weird because I don't drink, smoke, or I gamble very little. So I'm not sure why I like Vegas so
Still
much.
have fun there, though.
Yeah, no, we used to take the kids there because you could do 30 activities in one day without moving your car.
Right?
You know, where did you work in Vegas? Like what hotels?
I've worked at a lot of different places, mostly neighborhood type bars.
Oh, the cool stuff.
Yeah,
See, I don't get to
stayed
that
out in the
stuff.
neighborhood.
You ever heard of the Golden Tiki?
Oh, yeah.
That place looks so cool. I've never been there though.
That's a local place.
Yeah, Golden Tiki. And then there's some mob restaurant I'm always hearing about that's like owned by the mob or was owned by the mob, and I don't know what it is. Yeah, I've never been there either. I don't get the hip stuff.
Our culture in Las Vegas is interesting.
Oh, sure.
It's different than everywhere else, but it's fun. And
But it's also disposable because as soon as you get to like something, they tear it down.
yeah.
You know, I used to love the Stardust. They tore it down. You know?
Yeah, but for me moving there, one of the things I like about that is always changing.
Well, that's very true.
I like new
yeah.
things.
The,
I
the,
love
bi- the
change.
biggest memory my kids have is we saw a building that was being demolished.
Oh, and floated.
Well, no, it was still there. The Bourbon Street.
Oh, yeah.
And so the next morning we drove by and it was gone.
Yeah.
We didn't know it was scheduled, but it was there one day and not there the next. So what do you remember about high school? We're at the high school reunion.
Oh, my gosh. I just found some old pictures, and I just remember more my senior year than anything. I just remember us having so much fun, going to Mexico after we graduated.
You went on the trip?
I did go on the
How was
trip.
that? I didn't go.
I found some old pictures just the other day of some Mexico. But I love being in drama and just cheerleading and just
I try to
all
tell
the
people
fun we had.
drama was very, there was a lot of camaraderie in drama, you know. Well, it's great talking to you. Good catching up. Thank you.
Really does.
All right, tell us about Norwalk. Who are you?
My name's
Pronounce
Saharat.
your name. It's very long.
My name is Saharat De Chatsukseli. I always went by Sal back in the day. I was drumline back in the day. Moved away my sophomore year. Known everybody in Norwalk from the time I was 2 years old all the way up.
Where'd you live in Norwalk?
I lived on Studebaker Road next to Excelsior. On Excelsior and Studebaker.
I lived on Studebaker and Rosecrans.
Okay, so you were right down the street from me.
Same drag.
Matter of fact, you and I, Jeff, were hanging out all the time in high school. I remember all the competitions we'd have and all the comic books and the Star Wars
all the
and
nerd
that
stuff,
all
right?
the stuff that you did. Dungeons and Dragons, you name it.
It's weird that all the stuff that I got beat up for is now mainstream now.
Exactly.
It's weird to see that.
It is weird to see that.
Yeah.
But I want to congratulate you on the fact that you're an author.
I appreciate
and I
that.
look
Thank
forward
you.
to purchasing your books and getting a signature as
Absolutely. Just let me know.
well. I shall let
And you
know.
found your phone. That's what counts.
Yeah, I found my phone. Thank God. iPhones are a commodity, so I was
Heck
panicking.
All right.
Nice
What are you drinking?
Doers.
Doers.
Scotch.
All right.
I'm going to do it right.
All right. Hey, look at this. It's Kathy Phipps, everybody. Kathleen Phipps in the flesh.
Hello.
We hung out a lot.
We did.
A lot. And Becky's here. You two were inseparable in high school. You were Laverne and Shirley.
We were inseparable in high school. In summer, Thelma and Louise. Everything. Joined at the hip for years.
I can say one time I went partying with you guys.
Did you make it?
No, I had no idea what I was doing. You guys were way ahead of me, light years ahead of me. Light years.
Own it.
My kids don't know anything
Oh, that's right.
about
You
high
have
school.
babies. Oh, my
They
God.
don't know nothing about your high school? Well, we're not going to go into anything, absolutely.
I have no secrets. They know everything.
But
I never did drugs. So
I never did drugs. I've never done anything.
You never
so.
did alcohol either.
No, I don't know.
Kind of hate you for that.
However, I do have a picture of you with it.
Yes,
Yes, you
yes.
would pretend all the
Oh yeah, it was fun to pretend because I thought that would give me street cred with the ladies.
You never needed street cred.
No, because I never had a shot at anybody. Trust me. So were you in Business as Usual or backstage?
I was thinking it was in it. Wait, which Business as Usual?
That was the one. That was the
yeah.
That was the big finale
I
one.
played the news reporter.
You were the news reporter. Okay, you're the one that we tell the plot to.
I
Yes.
believe that was it. And
Carla
I was-
Perez behind you.
I was. Oh my God! I thought you were going to be at some kind of convention. I am.
Hi, Carla. How are you?
I'm actually on a convention right now, but
All right.
I had to go to LA. Okay, how's it hot?
Okay, there's lots of pictures of that on Facebook. And she don't like Robert.
Oh, really?
Yes, I'm going to post my photo.
Make sure you sign the card.
Yeah, so,
You're used to giving your autograph, so this should be easy. Carla did a whole 2-hour show, so we know all about Carla and her amazing career and accomplishments.
Have you listened to the show? You want just to make sure he doesn't spill too many secrets.
Oh no, it's funny because people listen to the show think they know everything about me, and I go, you only know what I have told you. There are certain redacted parts. And you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. There are complete years, people, and history that has been wiped clean.
Well, that's a good thing.
Okay, so Kathy was in. Is Kathy offensive to you, or should I say Kathleen? It's all good. Okay. You were in Business as Usual. You played Mercedes Holbrook, and you know the weirdness behind that, right? When I wrote Business as Usual over the summer when I was working at the employment office. They were paying me to write the background. They just didn't know it. And I turned it in, and I was going to play the lead, not the sidekick. And Maggie said, well, of course you're the sidekick. You wrote this part. I said, I'm trying to play against type. She said, no, you're the sidekick. Well, the sidekick had no love interest. So I rewrote the whole show and added your character in because, I mean, what am I going to do?
Did you want to kiss her? Is that what it was? Were you trying to hook her?
No, nothing like that. She was dating my best friend.
Please, like that would stop.
She was dating Randy Villani.
It doesn't matter. She's hot. Everybody wants her.
There's a bro code.
Oh, well, I don't know
I'm
about
told.
the bro code. I don't know.
Where have you been, Kathy? You're in Utah.
I am in Utah.
What do you do? What's your amazing life like?
Well, I went to the 99 reunion.
Oh, you did? Okay.
I did. So I made it to the 10-year. Shortly after the 10-year, life happened, and went into law enforcement.
Did you really?
Left law enforcement.
You were in law enforcement? That's so
was in
cool.
juvenile probation. And then
You're helping people. That's great.
I was. Then 15 years ago, we decided to pick everything up and move to Utah so my kids wouldn't be my future clients. And I got to stay home for 15 years raising them.
That's fantastic. Hey, that is amazing. Rachel raised most of our kids without ever working, and she was there for most of them. Of course, when you moved to Orange County, that's not possible.
Nope.
But in Riverside, she was there every day they came home from school, and there's something important about that. Really important about that.
Definitely enjoyed it. So being out in Utah let me stay home with them and homeschool. And
I bet Utah's beautiful, right?
4 seasons
Oh,
snow.
I'm so jealous.
And I married a Norwalk graduate.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know your
Yes.
husband was from Norwalk.
He's an 87,
I didn't know that.
and he was in cahoots with Terry Hathaway.
He was in what with Terry?
He and Terry and Rudy Rodriguez lived together, and
That's fantastic. I had no idea.
so we stayed connected with a lot of people.
They got Terry in the divorce. Yeah. We had to have that clean break, and I was like, well, I got a new guy. They can have Terry.
I just interviewed Terry.
Oh, no.
It's the standard thing I always say to Terry. You were a football player. You were popular. Ladies liked you. What are you doing hanging out with me? And he was like, you're a good person. I said,
You have a personality.
well, yeah, but so does that pig Arnold on Green Acres. Personality only goes so far, right? That's from Pulp Fiction because I'm a nerd.
There's
What?
I love you.
Oh, you're very nice.
Very few people that I've
You're ve-
hung out with.
Oh no, you're
Besides-
very selective, which is you're like me.
I
You're
would
very
love
selective.
to hang out with her, but she kind of moved far away.
We should all go to Utah.
I know.
I think so.
I think so.
I would
too.
love to see Utah. You know who that is?
Yes, I do.
We've been doing this all night.
Is it Eric and Mama?
Is it Eric?
I don't know. I don't know. Listen, I'll be honest. I don't know who anybody is. I'm terrible at this.
I am very bad at this, but is that Eric and Gala? It is. Yeah! Winner,
Wait,
chicken
he
dinner.
was in Joseph, right?
What?
Eric Ngala was in Joseph.
I think so.
He played the Pharaoh. That's how I know people.
Oh my God, I'm so bad.
That's all I know. That's all I know.
What part did you play?
Oh my
I
God.
played Miss Bradford.
Yeah. Well, we did Los Vendidos. You were the buyer, and I was an immigrant farm worker.
Okay, yeah.
Have you seen those pictures? I look ridiculous.
Sweetie, I'm sorry, but you're going to have to show me the pictures.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
believe it.
Well, you didn't believe that was a picture of you as the scarecrow.
Right?
But I know for
don't
certain that
remember.
it is.
I know. I always can't remember anything.
Well, it's been great. Thank you both for being on the show. Congratulations on leaving California, your amazing life. That's fantastic.
And it has been very fun tracking you and stalking you. I have introduced my kids to the books.
Have you really?
Yes, I
Oh, that's
have.
amazing. Thank you.
My kids too.
Book 5 is killing me. I'm over halfway done, and it's slowly killing me because, not to get technical, but all the books have this back and forth thing, and the 5th one doesn't have that. It's a straight story told through a woman, Josie's eyes, and it's just a lot harder because she is I created this great character that she tells me what to do. So when I sit to write, sometimes I fight with her over, I want to do this, and she'll say, no, I wouldn't do that. I'm like, you're right. It's weird. I look crazy when I write. I look crazy.
Okay, I'm going to be honest here. I love Jeff, but I love Rachel.
Yes.
And I
do too.
absolutely
Yes.
love your kids.
I got lucky.
I seriously love your kids.
Thank you.
Austin fucking cracks me up. Oh my God, he's you. He is you, Jeff. You know that, right?
There are times
I
when he
just
comes
wanna
in
eat him.
ranting, and I'm like, I'm getting paid back. Because
I love him, though.
he's exactly like me.
You know that's why we loved you, right? Is what you see in Austin that's driving you nuts.
Yeah.
That's what we loved in you.
Yeah.
We loved that. Such
Well,
passion.
it's very rare, especially in high school kids, to see someone who just talks the way it is.
Yeah.
Like he has no filter. And I'm like,
That's a
I
good
think
thing.
I would, yeah. But like in some social studies occasions, they don't want
You want
that.
to edit?
What?
Stop.
Oh, all right, we're gonna go. Thank you both.
Thank you.
All right, Jeff.
Once again,
in 1 week. Happy birthday. Oh, no, that was last week.
that was last week.
So-
Happy reunion.
Happy reunion. I wanted to ask you, what's your impression of this? I've been to other reunions,
Oh.
but how is it? How is it? How is your brain right now?
I think it's completely bizarre. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
You go to I go to like a toy show, and you walk the aisles, and you go, oh my God, I remember that toy. I used to play with that toy. Buy that one and that one. This is like that with people.
Yeah.
Because you walk in, and you go, oh my God,
Yeah.
I haven't seen this person in 30 years.
30 years plus. And my thing right now that I've noticed is that I see people that I recognize their faces, and then I'm like, I can't conjure up any memories of you, but I know that I know you. I've gotten to that point.
I've done the same thing too,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Because your brain picks things to keep.
Yes.
And the stuff that it doesn't keep, it jettisons because it's got to make room for the stuff it wants to keep.
Yeah.
And some of these people, no offense, they didn't make the cut.
Yeah.
You know?
Were you talking to Becky Blanchard earlier?
I was talking to Becky.
Okay,
Blanchard.
so I was remembering some weird when we were doing the 3-1 acts in high school.
Oh, I just
in 10th
mentioned that to
grade.
her, yes.
Right, that she and we were in the wardrobe room cleaning it up. And that's the one memory that I have, aside from working on the place, but that's the one memory because we spent like an hour in there just chatting about life and, whatever life was in the 10th grade. And it's like I have this memory of the two of us, and it's stuck in my brain.
It's vivid, right?
I don't remember anything else, yeah.
But it's vivid.
It's vivid, yeah.
I remember, we're talking about the wardrobe room. Before we painted it, it was covered in graffiti from classes long before us. I remember a certain piece of graffiti. I've never forgotten it. I don't know what it means, but somebody was really angry about something called a skeech, and it said, "Death to skeeches forever." And I wish I wish I had taken a picture of it. But we didn't have cameras back then. It's not like it is now.
It's not like it is now. Drippy.
I drove Droopy on the wall.
Yeah, that's the backstage. What I was talking about was that wardrobe room in the classroom that had all the wardrobe.
I know what you're talking about.
Displayed all around because people threw it all around. And Becky's like, I want to clean this up, and I was in there with her.
There were 2 people accused of having sex in there.
Oh yeah.
You know who that is?
No, name names.
I'll tell first names. David and Jennifer.
The David we knew.
Not David Lewis. No,
okay,
no.
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Another David. I'll tell you off the air.
Tell me later.
Because I don't want to have to bleep it.
Yeah.
But I wasn't upset. I was insanely jealous. I'm like, you got to be kidding me.
Jennifer from Joseph?
No.
All right.
So you'll never figure it out.
No, I'm not going to do it.
I'll tell you off the air and you'll know in a second.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, this is a trip.
Drama was where you get over that thing of having to change in front of someone. Because you have to get it done and get back on stage, and you lose all modesty.
Yeah.
You have to get the clothes on, and get back out.
I learned that doing community theater.
Right?
When I did Grease in Torrance, I was in a corridor. I didn't care.
Like my kids, my kids are so conservative that they wouldn't have any concept of getting undressed in front of another person. And now that Josie's taking drama, I'm like, welcome to the real world.
Well, you'll learn, yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
Because you look at your costume, even if you're just trying it on, you're like, I'm going to walk down the hall and no, I just have to do it here. I don't care who's watching. We're all doing it. It's not a thing. Boom.
You know, looking back on high school, drama, doing, especially, again, I'm going to mention 10th grade, that was our validation.
Yeah.
That we had some worth, right?
Yes.
In school.
Well, that was the year we convinced Maggie to do a play and not a musical.
Exactly.
And a play allowed us to actually become actors.
That was the first time that I was walking on campus and actually had people walk up and say, hey, I saw, because we had those preview nights. Preview days or whatever. And they said, yeah, man, I saw you. You were really good. And I'm thinking to myself, nobody in this high school likes plays. Why would they even compliment us, right?
Yeah.
But they did, and that
was legit because Charlie's Aunt was a solid production. Everybody was at the top of their game. Because I did a show where I talked about doing Charlie's Aunt and playing against Steve and playing against you, Steve Perall. And then it was the first time I'd ever known Stevie Riel as somebody other than a great singer. Yes. And I was like, wow, this guy can really act too. This guy's really good. And you had done Doc in West Side Story. So you had gotten to sink your teeth into real dialogue, wake up and all that, right?
Yeah.
But Charlie's Aunt allows you to be funny.
Yes.
And that's hard.
And timing, and funny with timing. I mean,
yes.
You have to have timing.
Comedy's really hard on stage.
Absolutely.
Because if you've never done a play, imagine reading a joke 200 times and then getting up and trying to tell it as if you've never told it before.
Exactly.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Yes.
Big class picture on the dance floor.
Okay, we got to go. Class picture. I'm gonna bring the recording because they've turned the music off. All right, we're doing a class picture. Class picture. Here we go. Okay, class picture. Everybody's here. Billing. Oh my God, this is insane.
No, the party just begun.
All right, here we are. Okay.
Can we fit everybody in?
Hope you're enjoying this because this is chaos. And that's Marty from West Side Story. All these people I haven't seen in forever. Oh my God.
1989.
Oh, 1989. The end of the 80s. The beginning of grunge. See, in a movie, we'd hear all of the cameras rolling, but it's all iPhones, so we don't have that anymore. All right. I naturally have gravitated towards the front because I'm always in the front because I'm short. Vince Puma?
Yes.
How are you, man?
Wait. Are you kidding me?
Yes. All right. A short guy in front. Always short guy in front. All right.
Turn off the DJ lights so it doesn't.
This is chaos defined, my friends. And the shortest guy here is on his knees.
1. Okay, let's get a funny one. 3, 2, 1. Awesome.
Let's get a depressing one. That's all right.
Hey, when you were up there,
Yes.
you were talking, and I'm like, okay, he's saying this and that, and I'm like, and then, yeah. And then right now, when I heard your voice.
So we're hanging out in the lobby here. This reunion's it's crazy. It's weird to see in one place. It's not like running into somebody at the mall or at the store and you're like, oh my God, we went to high school together, you know? No, it's not like that. It's imagine if 90% of the people in the room you went to high school with. Like, that's unusual, right? It's a planned event. But it doesn't make it any less surreal to see all the girls that ignored you in high school, all the guys that wanted to beat you. But it's not all like that. There's a lot of really nice people here. I've been really embraced by some people who are shocked to see me here and know me and know what I've done. I mean, not that I've done anything amazing, but, you know, just one guy wanted some advice on writing, and I've had at least half a dozen people say they've listened to 91 Reasons, which is very cool. You know, that's really interesting and very cool. I'm always very humbled by anything like that, so that's been very nice. You know, I'm out in the lobby here. We made a display of all my yearbooks and my varsity jacket and my multi-video worker's vest. It's so interesting. Nobody wore their Letterman's jacket. I really thought that there'd be 5 or 6 of them here, but I am the only one that showed up. That is interesting. You know, you have this mental image that everybody's living in the past and the glory days of high school were the greatest and they want it to last for forever and ever. And that's not the case. And you find out, oh, that's just me. The guy who constantly is saying that he isn't is. That's a weird revelation to make. I've become the establishment I once mocked. Oh my God. Yeah, we're still at the reunion. It is very, I know I've said strange and surreal. If I use bizarre, because I'll use bizarre. Guy just walked by me just now. Guy I haven't seen since high school. Did that thing where they grab you on the shoulder really hard and shake you, like, hey man! Like, oh my God. It is so weird, the things that come back to you. I was out in the hallway and I saw 2 girls walk by. These were the most popular girls in school. They look great. They're a lot older, but they look great. But it's weird, like, you wonder if they know, like, how people idolize them. I was never idolized in high school. I have no concept of what that is, that power over people. I've always just been me, and if you like it, that's great, and if you don't, that's great. I don't care. But I never had anybody, like, stare at me. I didn't stare. I think that's the wrong word. It's just like, it'd be like if you had a poster on your wall of a model, and then suddenly, like, 30 years later, that person walks by you, you know? Like, I never knew Heather Thomas, but I had Heather Thomas on my wall. And if Heather Thomas walked by, it would be very crazy. And I guess the hometown equivalent of that is watching the 2 most popular girls in high school walk by you as if
as if time has not passed. And for a moment you're still there. And that's nostalgia at its finest, right? You know, and I'm happily married. I'm not looking at women like that, and I'm just not. But there's still something so jarring about seeing an image that's exactly the image that you saw so many years ago. You know, you ever had a singular experience in a room full of people where everybody's going about their motions and movements, and you know, like Neo in the Matrix, when everything stops and the Agent Smith program is right there and they freeze it because he was watching the woman in red. But that moment where you're aware and you're not aware at the same time, and I could almost feel the books in my hand and the rush to finish whatever paper I was working on so I could get back to Dungeons and Dragons. That's something you can, but it's very hard to duplicate, and it's very hard to make it real, and it's very hard to be in that moment and then recognize it. If you haven't gone to your high school reunion, I highly recommend it just for those Matrix singular moments. And I know I'm preaching here, I'm proselytizing, but that's very unusual, you know, very, very unusual. It's the word I use. I'm just not used to this kind of thing, you know. I sat across from Berg at that restaurant so many years later and had a conversation with him. I can't do that anymore. The guy passed away, so I'm so glad I did it. And this is on par with that, but at a different level. You know, these people had no power over me. They were my peers. But to see everybody in the same room and to know so many people, that's something else entirely. Something else entirely. Okay. We got another interview here. This is good.
Hi.
This is Dion Brown. The Dion Brown.
The Dion. I actually go by Dion Michelle Brown nowadays.
Dion Michelle Brown.
Yes, sir.
Now, we went to high school together.
Oh, my God, yes. Just yesterday.
What plays were you in?
Oh, my God. I was in West Side Story. I had one line.
What was your line? Do you remember?
Of course I remember. Are you kidding? I rocked it. My line was, are you ready?
Yes.
I and Velma ain't dumb. Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Oh, it was a tear to my eye.
Well, you know.
Now, you weren't in Greece, were you?
No.
Okay, I keep confusing you with somebody else.
No, I
you
wasn't
were in West Side Story.
I was in West Side Story, and I think it was more of a... Because I was an undergrad or an underclassman at that time.
Yeah.
So, yes. I'm a star, honey. They don't know. She will, though.
But you were like one of the most popular people in school. What were you doing hanging out with nerds?
Well, because I'm secretly a nerd, too. Hello.
Nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing wrong with that. I hung out with everybody who let me hang out with them, basically. That's how I thought of it, anyway.
I'm trying to remember... I have this... people who listen to the show know I have this weird memory. I can pull whole incidents out of the air, right? So this is crazy. I wanted to have you on the show a long time.
Okay.
Well, first off, before I bring that nonsense up, what are you up to now?
Okay. Well, I'm currently in film school.
Fantastic.
I'm giving that a try.
That's great.
I just landed my first serious acting role for an independent film coming up. We start shooting in January.
That's amazing.
It's called I Will Fear No Evil.
I Will Fear No Evil.
Yes, so follow me on Instagram, Dion Michelle Brown, Facebook, all that. I'll be posting about that as things develop, but I'm super excited. Could not be more happy. It's kind of a good versus evil kind of thing.
Which one are you?
I'm evil, of course.
Of course.
You know,
Those are the best
I don't know
parts.
if I could play good. I think that
Good's boring.
good is so boring. Yeah, I
So
agree.
what do you remember about West Side Story? Because I've talked about that on the show. Because I don't know if you know, but West Side Story was a big turning point for me. Because, in a nutshell, it was my third production. It was the first time I got to say an actual scripted line on stage.
What was your line?
I was Baby John.
Okay.
So I actually had to sing a verse of Officer Krupke, and I don't remember the lines. I just remember.
You're not going to break into song right now?
No, it's terrible. But I remember it being a big deal because I had dialogue. And then the other turning point was that was the first time. That was the first time somebody just walked by. That was the first time that my mom wasn't there for the show. And that was a big deal for me because my mom was a big supporter of what I had to do. But at that exact moment, my father was killed. So it was this weird... I look at West Side Story as this incredibly dark period of my life, augmented by what is arguably a really dark play. Like West Side Story has no happy ending.
It doesn't.
You know, it's really sad.
You know what, Jeff? I apologize for not knowing, not remembering.
I'm not doing it for that. I don't expect anyone to know that. No.
I know, but I just, as a friend and somebody who's known you for 100 years.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that, but no, it's
okay. But
it's all water under the bridge.
I know, but I'm just saying.
I always say that kind of
But
weird
let me
stuff.
say it.
Of course. I think that stuff. You either fall by the wayside because of it, or you get lifted up and you become stronger. You know.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I've been through. We've all been through stuff. Everybody has a story.
Everybody has a story.
You know, everybody has drama. Everybody has highs and lows and triumphs and tragedies. I'm talking a lot. I apologize.
No, that's fine. It gives my voice a rest. But no, you're absolutely correct. It's what you do with those struggles. It's how you... It's your reaction to them that makes or breaks you.
Oh, sure. All right, let me drop a bombshell on you. You'll have no memory of this.
Probably not.
Okay, we used to hang out with my friend Steve.
Yes.
And his girlfriend and now wife of 100 years, Laura, one of my closest friends in the world.
They were married her senior year.
Yes.
It was insane.
So
Who
what?
knows a senior married?
Does that make 30 or 31 years, right? It's got to be somewhere there.
We don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. It was 2 years ago.
So, Steve is a really great guy.
Yes.
One of my best friends of all time. And for a guy like me, so West Side Story, I would have, West Side Story, I would have been 14. Right?
Wow.
And at 14, I needed a guy with a car. And Steve was a cool guy with a cool car. So he had that little brown Impala that he named Michelle. The car had a name, right? And he would, God bless him, he would take anybody anywhere. And sometimes he would take people home, go back to the school,
and get them.
And take them home. And I'm getting to a point here.
Okay.
So... he was taking us somewhere, I don't know where, but it was during West Side Story, because he was Bernardo.
Yes.
And you were Velma? No.
I was Graciela.
I was Baby John. And we all got in the car to go somewhere, and I got bumped from the front seat to the back.
Okay.
By you. Wait. This is good. This is really good. So... we were never going to say no to you. You were high school royalty.
That's my problem now. Nobody said no to me.
You were high school royalty, Dion.
My God.
You were upper echelon. And you would walk by and guys would swoon.
You were going to make me cry, and I don't have
I'm just telling you the truth, honey.
Okay, thank you.
So here's what you did.
Oh, my God.
Here's what you did. You looked at me and saw like, oh, this guy wanted the front seat. Oh, and you said, oh, it's okay, honey. And you gave me a kiss.
I did?
On the lips.
Oh, my honey.
For like a second.
Oh.
Just a friendship peck. And guess what?
What?
That's the first time I had ever kissed a girl. Can you effing believe that?
Oh, my God.
That's insane, right?
I'm sorry. I stole your kissing virginity.
No.
I apologize.
No, it was all friends.
Right.
And I just was like, oh, that's what that is. Because up at that point, you've only kissed your mom and your aunts.
Right.
So you hold a weird spot there.
Oh, Jen.
That's freaking awesome.
Well, you're welcome,
And
I
more,
guess.
but
I don't know.
here,
I don't know the problem.
there's no answer to that other than you were always such a good friend in high school. Because for a guy like me, girls didn't talk to me at all. In fact, there's a girl here tonight who was cast in a play with me. And I know she had to leave because she had cheerleading or something. I know that. But she left right after we had a kissing scene.
Oh.
And I was always convinced, she left because she had to do a kiss with me in front of all the students.
No, don't even. You wipe that from your mind. I promise.
But you were always so cool. And you even invited guys like me, dorks, to your house for like a party. We were just talking about that earlier.
Yeah, my 16th birthday party.
I'm pretty sure if I sit and stare off into space long enough, I will remember what I gave you for that birthday. Because I can remember things so vividly and crystal clear. When we were talking, you had a stand-up arcade game in your house.
I did.
You had an Asteroids game, right?
Asteroids.
And we were all taking turns on it because, holy crap, you got a video game.
Yeah. And my mom bought the booze, so yeah, it was popular.
And not an Atari game.
No. This was the kind that if you go into the arcade, it was because my grandfather owned a liquor store. So
I didn't know that.
We had all the soda, all the crap you can ever want.
Where was it at?
It was in Downey. It's actually still there. It's called Double D Liquor. They kept the name even though my grandfather's passed,
Oh, that's incredible.
Yeah.
You ever go there?
No, because it's kind of
right?
hard. Yeah, it's hard. Well, because when my grandfather had the store, my grandfather was a workaholic. He never missed a day of work. One time he got sick, and he decided, you know what, I'm just going to stay home. And it was that night somebody broke into the store and shot and killed his clerk.
Oh no!
So we think at the time we're like, oh my God, that could have been Grandpa.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So
that's exactly how my father died.
Is it?
Oh yeah. He ran the St. Elmo Superette in Chattanooga at the base of Lookout Mountain, and a guy came in with his girlfriend late at night. They said, give us all the money. He did, and they still shot him. And the weird part is, a couple years left, no, I shouldn't say that. Yes, long after that, we went to Tennessee, and we wanted to find where was the store at.
Yeah.
So we got in the car. This is long before Google or anything like that.
Right. Back in the olden days when you had to know how to use the map.
Right. So we just started driving. I just drove the car, and we ended up at the place without any map, just good vibes,
Someone guided you.
Yeah, and I remember standing in front of that store, and like you feel connected, but you also feel disconnected. Because he ran it, but he's not here. So I get where your grandpa is coming from. You wouldn't. It's very bittersweet.
It is. Yeah. So I don't go by there anymore. On occasion, if I find myself in that area for nostalgia's sake, I'll go by. But no.
The other night, Thursday night, I drove by my childhood house for the first time in 20 years, and that was like, because I realized, because we got off the freeway because there was an accident, and we're just driving, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, I'm on Studebaker.
That's funny that you say that because I'm going to film school at Cerritos College, and I was driving down Studebaker, and I remembered where your house was. Yeah. And I was like, oh, that was Jeff's house. That was so funny.
Isn't that weird?
That is great. The things that pop in your head.
Yeah. I remember Cerritos College. Across the street, there was a Lucky's Market.
Yeah.
And next to that, do you remember what was next to it? Billiards.
Yeah, it's still there, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Oh.
Billiards had like 30 pool tables, and then up above it had a whole row of video games.
I remember because the ceiling was kind of lowered.
Yeah.
And it reeked of cigarettes.
Oh yeah,
Every time we would go
Everybody
there,
smoked.
I was like, I can't breathe. No. But that's crazy. That Lucky is a Crunch Fitness now.
Is it really? Oh, that's so crazy.
I know.
That's really
weird.
I'm
like, do you give student discount?
Yeah.
Like, no.
And then across the street, there used to be the A&W.
Yeah, that's gone too. I was so heartbroken. I was looking forward to it, and I pulled in, and I'm like, wait, I don't know this place.
Yeah, we used to take our kids to A&W, in the early 2000s, quite a bit. Like it was one of those places like your family just decides we want to go there a lot.
Yeah.
And then one day, it's just gone.
I miss those family places that you could go to.
Do you remember the plain wrap hamburger stand?
I do.
Remember that place?
Was that the one right across from the Excelsior Stadium?
Absolutely, yes.
39-cent cheese for hamburgers. Like, bring that back.
They had the plain wrap hamburger stand.
Loved it.
Right in front of the Norwalk Swap Meet.
Yeah, and that's totally bulldozed. That's not.
Oh, is it really?
Oh my God, it's gone. Yeah, they have the sign, and I'm like, but there's no building. I don't understand. Yeah.
Oh, and then the Del Taco used to be a Tommy's where you get chili burgers.
Well, there's like on that corner of Firestone and Pioneer, the shoe store used to be a Noggles, where I had my first job.
Hell yeah, Noggles.
Yeah, I remember you and Steve did like a little skit, and he was an old woman, and you guys both broke out like, and I seen your Noggles, because that was a commercial.
Oh yeah, oh my God, yes. I seen it. It all began right here. Oh my God.
That's
See, your
insane.
memory's really good.
It comes and goes. Don't ask me to remember anything important.
Well, plug your movie again and all your stuff.
I will. Okay, so my handles. I don't know. Is that what the kids are saying? Okay.
I'm not on anything except Facebook, so I don't know. I might have a MySpace page. I don't know.
I'll tell you what. If they go to my actual website, DionMichelleBrown.com, they can find all my social media. Follow me. The movie is called I Will Fear No Evil. It doesn't really roll off the tongue just yet, but yeah, so it'll start shooting in January, and I'll keep everybody posted.
That's great. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Living your dream. I love it.
Yes, I'm trying.
All right, thanks, Dion. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for everything. Love you.
All right, right back at you.
Bye-bye.
All right, well, my voice is going. Having to talk over all this music all the time it's the hardest part of doing this show. I simply can't function when there's loud music playing. I can't hear anything, and talking becomes nearly impossible. So I'm standing in the corner. I'm watching the high school reunion from the corner. It's a familiar vantage point from all the high school dances I attended. Because I went to all the high school dances just to be a part of things. And sometimes moments like this, you're watching everybody, they're living in these tiny moments. Sometimes I'd say I feel like an outsider, but I think it's even more than that. I think it's farther down the rabbit hole than that. Sometimes I feel like an alien, like I'm studying humanity from afar with a critical, weird, distorted eye lens. I see everybody dancing to Footloose. They're having a good time. And I guess if I lost myself in that moment, I could be one of those people. And sometimes you throw off caution, you throw it to the wind, and you dive in. And other times you look at it as a weird ritual that you have no concept of. I haven't been drinking, by the way. Just tea right now because my voice is shot. But this thing is supposed to go on for another half hour. And do I have that in me? Rachel's having a great time. But Rachel always has a good time wherever she goes. And I stand in the corner watching and like Hagen Kodos from The Simpsons. The Earthlings are engaging in a ritualistic dance ritual. Well, the Sea dance, you're supposed to go to this. The African anteater ritual. This has been a weird episode, talking to people from the past, like deep past. Very strange. Hey, the episode should be called Very Strange, because it has been a very strange night. Go to your reunion. See if you have these. You won't have these same things. You won't have these same emotions because you're normal or normal-ish, and I am an alien watching humanity from afar engage in their primitive, not mating rituals, but rhythmic rituals. This is no different than high school. I'm having a pure high school moment. The only thing missing is I don't have a hand stamp. I'm Jeff Tucker, and this is the class of '89 30-year reunion on 91 Reasons.